welcome back to another vlog from our canal boat. We've been here in Braunston for more than the usual couple of weeks because first our boat got frozen in and we couldn't move, and then there were storms and really high winds, so it wasn't safe to move. But finally the ice has melted and the wind has calmed down, the frost is gone and the mud is back, and we're super excited to get going and start our next journey to a new canal. But first, breakfast. We're doing a long commute from our home to breakfast. Over there.
The commute. That tree is still there. I couldn't remember.
When Andrew was growing up here in Braunston, this mooring, where the cafe boat sits now, was where his family's boat Poacher was moored.
When we lived here, this was where our mooring was, and just there would be where I would look out of my bedroom window. What a view.
Is it weird?
Not as weird as you'd think, but it's really interesting. It's a really nice mooring, so it's cool to be back.
God tier fried bread. We've eaten here before, but we've always been outside in the garden, so this is our first time being inside the cafe boat, and it's actually quite a novelty because we don't really get to go on other people's boats that much. It's fun being on a boat that isn't your boat, and it's also very cosy in here. The food here is so good and they do amazing cakes, so we had to take some away with us. If you're ever in the area, this is a must-do. In the summer, it's absolutely heaving every day, as it should be. But in the winter, you have to check the opening hours because this time of year, everything is kind of in an off-season hibernation period. Aren't we all? I can see a sheep. There's sheep just there. The lady said they had ewes, but I haven't seen them yet. After we ticked off the cafe visit, we did all our other boat admin and got everything ready to leave early the next day. I haven't done this for a while. I've done movement on the boat. I hope I remember how to do it.
How are you feeling?
I'm feeling good, if a little trepidation because we haven't moved for a bit, so I feel like I am not warmed up yet, and it's always a bit weird when you start and straight away have to like do a big turn or something, but fine, generally good. We've done a huge amount of plumbing related activities recently, but I'm actually quite excited to do a bit of cruising. It's been a while. It was due to weather, ice, being frozen in, all of that kind of thing. We didn't move for a while. This is the longest we've been in one place, right?
Apart from when we had winter mooring.
Yeah, but I think even then I think every 2 weeks we'd go to the marina. Yeah, I think when people are like, you have to move every 2 weeks as a continuous cruiser, like it's a big hassle. Like longer than 2 weeks feels like quite a long time. So I don't really think being moved every 2 weeks is that bad. This turn's a bit of a novelty, isn't it? Feels like we're always doing something quite fresh and sexy when we're here. Exciting stuff. We stayed in a really quiet spot just outside of Braunston for a few days, mostly just working because we knew we had some quite intense cruising ahead. And when the weekend came, it was finally time to set off properly on our next big adventure.
On our way through Napton. Not like last time, where we just got to Napton and then had to turn back. This time we're going through.
We're not going to stop, probably, are we?
No?
We might stop.
Oh,
we might
get
stop
some
for water, and then we probably won't go to the shop, will we?
No, I don't know. They've got some quite tasty snacks there. So I wouldn't rule that out if I were you. Because one of us could go while the other's doing water.
This is true. We could get brunch.
Yeah, I think a cruising brunch. It's going to be a long day.
That could work. We left this morning, it's Saturday, and we're going to try and do a long cruise today.
Because we wanted to go to Leamington.
We wanted to go to Leamington and Warwick, but there is a stoppage that way until March, so we can't do that. So we're going to head on the Oxford. I don't know where it stops being the North Oxford and becomes the South Oxford. Perhaps we'll see that point. And we're going to head towards Oxford slowly, but first we need to go very quickly a part of the way, because there is a stoppage on the Oxford which is going to be between the 5th or the 6th? Between the 5th of February and the 16th of February, and we need to get the other side of it. So we have 2 days to get past that stoppage, and then it can be leisurely cruising from then on. But we have got about 14 hours of cruising, maybe, something like that. It's 2 days at 7 hours. Oh, it's really windy. Don't worry about the camera. I'm worried about it blowing away.
It's a concern.
So it is a little bit windy. It's not dangerously windy, but it's maybe windier than anyone would have liked it to be.
But we have to move, so...
But we only have these 2 days, so... It's going to be okay. At the moment, we're in a very exposed area, so the wind is just blowing us right across from the fields. But I think as we travel on, hopefully, we won't be quite so exposed.
What happens here is it's a very winding canal.
It's a contour canal.
Catches you at the wrong angle,
Yes.
i.e. it's across the whole side of the boat like it is right now.
Yeah.
You do just get carried across even on the 70-footer.
Yeah.
But if we go into it, which we're about to, then it shouldn't be so much of a problem.
Yeah.
So we'll just get around this corner.
The turns are really extreme here.
Yeah.
You do like a zigzag, like a woo.
Probably as we're doing this.
Yeah, we came from over there, now you turn, and then
now.
now we're about to go. It's like an S shape.
Yeah.
So it's quite extreme. First stop Napton, then Napton Locks, which we haven't gone through yet, and then after that I don't know. Oh well, my hair is pink now for continuity purposes. There hasn't been like a big gap, I just did it yesterday, so it's new. That's it for now.
We'll see you getting
We'll
snacks
update
and
you
naps.
later. Goodbye. On these windy waterways. Here we've got one of those suspiciously busy little stretches of moorings that can only mean one thing.
There's a pub.
Exactly. I've still never been inside. It looks very nice.
One day we'll go there.
Cruising in winter is completely different to the other seasons. It's so quiet. There are not just fewer boats on the move, but a lot of them go into a marina for the winter months, so there are just less boats on the canal in general. You can go for ages without seeing anyone at all. In the summer, there would probably be boats dotted all along this towpath, even in the really rural parts. The section that we're on now is a popular hire boat route. But in winter, it's really quiet and peaceful, or sometimes remote and slightly desolate, depending on what the weather's doing that day. This is our second winter on the boat, and the first winter we spent on a winter mooring, so for the 4 months between November and the end of February, we were in one place. We didn't have to move at all. Every couple of weeks we went to get water or to the marina to get a pump out, but it wasn't the same. We weren't travelling, we were just based in the same spot. And there were definitely benefits to that, and for our first year I think it was completely the right choice. There was already so much else to get used to and to get sorted. We needed that stability and stillness. There was very much enough other excitement just from it being my first month living on a boat. This year though, we didn't feel like we needed that, and we thought we'd keep continuously cruising throughout the winter period as well.
I think we need to speak to the branch manager.
It's very different cruising in winter because obviously you're more affected by things like weather and the number of daylight hours. In the warmer seasons, we quite often do a trip somewhere where we cruise loads every day, like 9 hours each day, and we get somewhere new each day, and then we look around and we eat out and go to the pub. The boat goes into travel mode. It's like being on holiday. But obviously we don't do that all the time. We live on the boat full time, so we also work and cook meals or do our washing and lay around doing nothing and move much more slowly with longer periods in one spot. And that's the boat in living mode. What tends to happen is in summer we're in travel mode much more, and in winter we're in living mode. Spring and autumn, it depends on the weather. I love this turn. Such a good turn. So wide. So our plan for the next few months was to move very slowly along the South Oxford. We had about 47 miles and 38 locks ahead of us, and no particular rush to get through them. We thought we'd move maybe once a week, a few hours cruising to the next town or village, and then settle down for the week and just keep doing that. And maybe end up in the city of Oxford where the canal ends, eventually, maybe in spring. We didn't have any plans further than just getting to Oxford. We're just about to go past the turning off that we would have wanted to go down to go towards Leamington, but they won't let us go because there is a stoppage there. So instead of turning right here, we're going to carry straight on, and we're just around the corner from Napton. Napton is called Napton on the Hill, so the actual village is on the hill, but the canal just goes by the edge of it. So we kind of go all the way around, and it's a very beautiful approach. So I'm looking forward to this. But yeah, this is where we would have gone. So, you missed Wickhams turn.
Oh shit, that's huge.
The people saw it. You didn't see it. You missed Wickhams turn and you missed both the marinas.
Oh no.
Oh yes.
That's terrible.
I know. Just got here in time to see Napton. Maybe. Looks like it could be quite slow. No rest for the wicked.
Exactly.
Okay, bye. walking to the Napton stores, Napton village stores. It's only about 10 minutes away, so it's quite an easy walk. And it's a really nice, like, small village shop, but that has like loads of nice stuff. So I'm excited. As you know, we've been to Napton before, so we're not stopping for a long time, although we weren't here long last time. But we're not stopping to like explore the village, so it's just a flying visit. Village life end.
Oh, they're frozen. So you could get frozen ones, or you could get...
I have secured the goods and I have secured a mortgage to pay for them, and there's absolutely no phone signal in that village shop, so Andrew's going to have to hopefully trust me that I've made a good choice. But I think I have. Cats. So many of them.
Hello.
Hello,
What's that?
I'm back. We forgot about the phone, didn't we?
Signal, yeah, I remembered that now.
Yeah, me too.
Oh well, I'm impressed.
Are you pleased?
I'm pleased. Do we need to heat the quiche?
Maybe, yeah, maybe all of it needs a heating. Oh wait, yes, let's do a haul. Bacon quiche I went for, and then I went for homemade sausage roll and an all-day breakfast Scotch egg. What a trio. Heat 'em. Okay, so I also got some big portobello mushroom to have with the sort of breakfast stuffed up, and then some tomatoes to also have with the breakfast, and some sausages and some eggs. And then I got this garlic butter, which looks amazing, because like garlic butter is always delicious, but I thought I could do garlic bread, so then I also got some little mini baguettes to do garlic bread. That's the haul.
Beautiful.
So good.
Got our water filled.
Feels quite productive, doesn't it, when you're doing other stuff
It
while
does.
your water fills?
Yeah, multitasking.
Where will I sit? Oh, look how cute she is on the pillow. Matilda. Got some new coasters here. If you know, you know. If you've been to the coffee house that these reference, then you know.
You may have spent some time in the pandemic.
Yeah, that's the
Open
only
up.
coffee house you were going to during the pandemic. We've done all the services, so now it's time for locks. I think it's 8 locks total. Napton flight, and then there's like 2 more. There's a field with just 1 cow and 1 sheep, and they just look like they're sort of having an adventure, like a cartoon or something. I hope they're best friends. lock 1 done. Met a very nice gentleman who lives in the cottage by the lock and he helped me with it. Now lock 2, there is someone coming down in the lock above, so I'm just opening the gate for them. They're going to come through, then we're going to go up and we're going to save some water and some time. Andrew's over there now.
There he is.
And that boat is coming down.
Down, 6 to go.
Next one looked like a tight one. I've met 2 separate boaters as we've been coming down these locks, and I've got 2 separate pub recommendations. So we've got some pubs that we're going to have to visit as we go forwards towards Oxford, and the gentleman I was talking to just now also said he doesn't know how to pronounce, I'll put it here, but he said it was like Cropredy, and everyone was like no, and I thought it was Cropredy. So now I'm lost. I have not a clue how that's pronounced. It sounds like it's something ancient. It sounds like Cropredy is like a doomsday book thing, right? It sounds like ancient medieval town of Cropredy. Oh, look at this view. Okay, let me flip you around so I can show you the view. Feels like it might rain.
Oh, there's the rain.
No!
It's raining.
No! By this point, we're quite well practiced at doing locks together, so it's quite an easy and familiar thing. This wasn't always the case. We used to do a lot more shouting to each other, and although I'm still wearing a walkie-talkie here, we don't use it as much as we used to. We don't really need it. We know what each one of us is doing and what we need, so it's a lot easier to anticipate any issues. You do always have to pay attention at locks because things can go wrong in a second, and it is genuinely dangerous, so you shouldn't ever get complacent. But I used to get really nervous doing locks at the beginning, and now I don't. It's just part of everyday life. You can get too comfortable though, because here I popped my camera on top of the lock gate while I was opening it, and it fell off. The gate knocked it off as it hit the other gate. I was lucky it didn't fall on the canal side. That's the last time I've done that. Okay, we've done most of the locks. There's one more, but it's a way away. And that's not the funny bit, is it?
Some kind of arm.
Some kind of... Oh, no, this is the disused something arm. This was on the map.
Oh, wow.
Oxford arm disused or something like that. Hold on. Yeah, it's like an arm that goes nowhere, but it's got some boats in it. Anyway, let's try that again. Okay, Napton flight. How did you like it?
It's, quite nice.
I thought it was very easy compared to, you don't know, very easy compared to the double locks.
It's definitely very different going from the wide locks that we were going through before to this.
Yeah, I liked the way, as you were going up, it was kind of unveiling a new vista of Napton.
Yeah.
It started down at the bottom, and then as you went up, you saw this big rolling landscape. I thought it was actually quite scenic and interesting. That must have quite a high rise.
We're in uncharted territory
Yes.
of Napton, because we'd only ever walked that far up the lock. So for us on this canal journey at Land's End, this is the first time that we're heading this way.
I believe we will be leaving Napton, and the next town along will be called Marston Dolls, and after that there's Priors Hardwick, which is also
all names that sound very familiar.
I don't think there's much at either necessarily, so I guess it's just we go for however long. My watch is off. How many time is it?
3:05.
3:05. So we've
No,
probably
2
got
hours
maybe 2 hours. Yeah, 2 hours if we're optimistic. So yeah, we could actually make it somewhere.
Well, we've got snacks and wine, so we don't even need to.
We don't even need to. We could pull up at a nice rural patch.
Yeah.
That's quite nice sometimes, just get in the middle of nowhere. Maybe we can find somewhere with a really good view. Some sheep. So that arm is called Old Engine House Arm. It doesn't say anything about it because this book is useless. It's like, oh yeah, it's just an old arm. There are no facts. Nothing.
Cut to the part where we're eating the snacks.
Cut to the part when you were sitting down and having a little rest.
Wow. As they say, there's a crack, and that's where the light gets in.
I don't know if they want to say that about a bridge though.
Yeah, it is.
The way they've got the ivy on. See, the one thing about Napton is this midsection doesn't have the little foot bits. So the beginning and the end is fine, but the midsection's really slippery.
Which is probably why someone lost their
Oh my
Birkenstock.
god. Helicopter on what looks like a farm.
Yeah.
Wow.
And they just landed it, so they were like, oh, just popping out for a little helicopter jaunt.
They just landed it like 3 feet away from those sheep.
Is that legal? How does all this work?
Yeah, can you just have a helicopter at your house? If you were a celeb, that would be ideal.
Be sick.
Yeah.
Maybe it is a slip.
Maybe. This boat is quite a famous landmark in this area. It appears to be floating on water, but it's not attached to the actual canal. It's floating in a little pond to the side of the canal. There's all kinds of gossip about land disputes and how this came to be. I have no idea, but it is very intriguing looking. This was our first close-up look at the HS2 works, which if you're not from the UK, HS2 is this enormous infrastructure project which was supposed to become a new high-speed rail network to connect London and the north of England. It was very controversial because of its enormous cost, and there were environmental concerns because of the impact on the countryside and wildlife. And also the route that it was supposed to take was this diagonal line straight through the country, and anything in the way had to go. People had their houses bought and some people didn't want to move. It was a whole thing. After spending billions working on this thing, in October 2023, our idiot government announced they were cancelling the northern leg, which was supposed to be from Birmingham to Manchester and kind of the whole point of the thing. So the southern part is still going ahead, which is where we are. This will be part of the London to Birmingham route. As you can see, they're working right next to the canal, and there was going to be a stoppage right here later in the month, so they could create a temporary bridge or something. I don't remember. There are lots of places where the HS2 would affect the canals all the way up the country. We must assume it will be less ugly and bleak once they're finished here, but it is still kind of interesting to look at it in progress.
Look, it's a Silkbuster, and if you want one of those, you can get it from silkbuster.com. Which is today's sponsor.
Thanks so much for sponsoring the vlog, silkbuster.com.
When I have silk that needs busting, I choose silkbuster.com.
The only choice to bust your silt. We finally moored up just after the HS2 long stretch of works, and there's just nothing outside, but hopefully we'll have a look at it tomorrow because it looks quite interesting. Yeah, now we're just probably going to sit here and relax because it was quite tiring. Now I feel quite exhausted. What do you think?
Yeah.
Any thoughts? Yeah.
Just going to relax.
It really takes it out of you. You wouldn't think it would, but I do feel really tired now. Maybe just have a shower, get into PJs and chill. Thanks so much for watching, and I will see you next time as we continue our journey on the South Oxford.